Today we'll be making an artificial lung, so we'll need a plastic bottle, a glove for some balloons, some straws, a cap, and a glue gun. So first you're going to want to make an incision in the bottle. The bottle will act as the thoracic cavity, so this is essentially a thoracotomy. Alright, that one didn't really turn out too well, so we'll get another thoracic cavity from the lab. So first we'll take off the pleura, and then we'll make the thoracotomy again. Always remember safety first, so it's always best to hold the scissors as I am doing here. And here you can see a nice little thoracostomy. Now just make a circumcision of the bottle and you'll have a completed thoracic cavity. The next part will be putting in the lungs and the trachea. So right here, you're gonna cut a straw, make sure it's kind of a long piece. This will act as the trachea, and we'll cut it at an angle on both sides. And now you're gonna want to cut two smaller straw segments. These will represent the bronchi. That's a pretty satisfying sound, I like that. And on these, you should cut an angle, but on just one side of the straw instead of both, as you did on the trachea. And then you're gonna put them together as such. Looks like some hot glue got on my finger. And make sure that you can blow air through it. And now get a hot glue gun and glue them together. This will make sure that no excess air gets out, and we'll make sure that the straws don't fall apart. Be careful not to glue the inside of the straws though, otherwise air won't go through. And safety first, once again. I burned myself at least 5 times. Yeah, I burned myself there. Don't do that. And now just wait for the glue to cool. Blow through the straw to make sure that air can still go through it. And this is what the completed trachea / bronchi should look like. So now get a glove or balloons. If you have a glove, cut off 2 of the fingers. If you're using balloons, just use 2 balloons. And then glue each finger / balloon to the ends of the bronchi. And these will be the actual lungs. So I guess you could technically call this pulmonoplasty or pneumoplasty. Blow through the straw to make sure that air can go through the glove. And then glue on the outside so that no excess air gets out. And test it again. So it's working good. And then glue on the other lung. glue is still hot even through the glove, so watch out for that, 'cause that burned me too. And here I'm just putting a bunch of extra glue around just to make sure no excess air leaves. And here's a test of the lungs. They work. Look at that. Very nice. Alright, so now we're gonna need to get a bottle cap and poke a hole through it. Just do it safer than I'm doing, so you don't cut yourself or anything. And just twist it around to make the hole bigger. And then put the trachea through it as such to make sure the hole is big enough. After that, stick the trachea up through the thoracic cavity, and then put on the cap. Make sure the lungs don't go past the bottom of the thoracic cavity. My thoracic cavity needed a cap transplant, I guess. It was missing a cap, so I had to put a whole bunch of extra glue around it to make sure it doesn't fall off. We'll call this capoplasty. So just get all that glue around so no air escapes, and around the straw as well to secure it, because otherwise it might just slip through. And here's a little test. They work, of course. And so now get a second glove and cut it up and lay it out flat after you cut it. Make sure it's big enough to cover the whole area of the bottom of the thoracic cavity. And this glove will act as our diaphragm, the muscle that helps the lungs take in air. If your diaphragm has extra fingers on it, just cut those off. And now just glue the edges so that no air can escape. So you want to create a kind of vacuum with negative pressure. Here I'm just making extra sure that all holes are covered. So you can see there's just a whole bunch of glue on there. And here's a test of the final product. You can see the lungs actually work. And that's what lungs look like when you're breathing. If your diaphragm has an extra finger on it, that makes it a little easier. I guess that would be digital diaphragmosis. You have the condition of having a finger on your diaphragm. And that's all.